Thank you, brother. Fine. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, that's good. That's fine. All right. All right. Hello. Let me first say that I thank and praise God that we have all made it here safely today. Can this mic come up anymore? Which one? I got the wrong one. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. We thank and praise God that we have all made it here safely today. And I pray to God that your return and my return will be equally safe. How you know, man, when I told your brother's wife that her car was leaking, I didn't read that in the paper. See, white folk know everything. At least they think they do anyway. I really had a wonderful time since I've been here. I've been over at the health food store all day. And Wanzhou has a wonderful place over there. And to you and the family, we say congratulations on 19 years. Isn't that incredible? 19 years. 19 years. See, I went over there and when I go to the health food store, I just treat myself. This is calcium. And y'all ever buy stuff and read the directions? See, I don't read. See, I used to drink a fifth of scotch and whiskey. I ain't never read no directions on no whiskey bottle. So before the night's over, I'll probably drink this whole bottle of calcium. It's amazing how they play games with people's head, ain't it? I mean, people don't know nothing about health, running around talking about taking too many vitamins. But you ain't never heard nobody, when they get a six-pack, talk about too much beer in here. When I was in college, I used to go hang out with some white boys, and they used to go, and those of y'all been to college with white boys, I don't know about the girl, they'll drink 4 or 5 pitchers of beer a night. A night. Y'all know what I'm talking about? Yeah. Friends, I mean, they're friends behind that first pitcher. By God, you can marry a sister of mine. I don't care who she married, as long as she loves them. That's when you get the signal. Didn't mention nothing about you being in love. Say she been in love. And then on that second picture, that's when you better start ease. Hey, y'all saw what happened, 2 months ago in Virginia, huh? And everybody's upset because the Attorney General and them did not declare it a hate crime because that brother was with friends. He knew them white boys. They've been out drinking. But he didn't know that white boy got a limit. And then it go reverse. Nigga, did I hear you say you'd marry my sister? Oh, yeah, they reverse it. I be with my white friends. See, I got different types of white friends, you know. Normally when I'm talking, I tell white folks, the white folks I be talking about, because if y'all know me, you know most of my audience have always been white. I mean, that's just the price I charge that most black folk can't afford me. Hey, I ain't know, and I just tell the brothers and sisters, I'll give you a break, and I tell white folks I'll give you a break because I know y'all gonna tell them. Yeah, first they say, how come you got 2 prices? I tell everybody, I got 2 prices. I got one for black folk and one for white folks. Now, so we get that out the way. And my white brothers and sisters there, you hear me talking about white folk there? Trust me, I am not talking about you. That's right. See, I advocate that it ain't but 5 white folks on the whole planet. And the rest of y'all is imposters, because white ain't got nothing to do with a color. White is attitude. And if you ain't got some big billions of bucks in the bank, you can't have the attitude. And you black folks in America, y'all done mess white folks up because y'all mad at the wrong white folks. White folks y'all couldn't help you if they liked you. You serious? They'll kill them on the way to get me. I'm talking about Queen Elizabeth type white folks. Now them bees my white folks. Queen Elizabeth make $300 million every 24 hours just interest on her money. Oh yeah, and them type of white folk don't lie. They say we going to war to protect our interests. As in interest. Black folks run around telling me, I'm going because the flag, I'm going because I love America. I'm like, please, I'll only fight for Allah. What God needs you to fight for them? So I like Queen Elizabeth type white folks. And no, we just going to protect our stuff. So let's get it on. Now, them bees my type of white folk. Now, but was it 2 nights ago, I'm speaking to 25,000. No, I'm saying 6,000 white folk paid me $25,000. And I like speaking to all white folks. That's why I'm just thrilled to see so many black folks. Normally, I don't see that many of y'all when I be talking. But I like speaking to them white folks. Them white folks pay me. First, they know I spend about $400, $500 a week just on magazines and newspapers. So they want what I got in my head. And I don't cut them no slack. I go, they pay me good because they think I'm an authority on y'all. They think if they mess with me, y'all would get them. I don't let them ask me no questions. I intimidate them. I just walk out. The other night and I said, all black folks is on welfare. Now let's get to the next issue. White dude sitting on the front row, he humming and said, but, you just can't say that. I said it, boy. All black folks is on welfare. Well, why do you say that? Because every time I pick up the paper, I'm tired of reading about white men in America is upset over affirmative action because black folks is taking y'all's job. Now, you're not going to have it both ways. Either we all on welfare or we got your job. I mean, think about the games they play. And it works. They can shame most of you black folks out of welfare. Black folks run right out. I don't want no welfare. How can you be stupid enough to hate free money? There's some black folks up there talking about, I don't want no welfare. They're on their way to play the lottery number. They don't want no welfare. My mother was like that. I was 9 years old. I saw this funny look on her face. I said, Mom, what's wrong? She said, she just went to the mailbox and got that check. She said, well, I just be glad when we get off welfare. I took that check and said, Mom, look, it says aid to dependent children. You're not on welfare. We are. This is our money. You just the administrator of this check. White folks that messed around gave you an executive position. You can't even appreciate it. But if y'all meet any black folks that say they're ashamed of welfare, tell them I said move to Canada and tell them to mail the check over there and call it foreign aid. That don't seem to bother none of y'all. The game. I was born and raised on welfare. I've been on both types of welfare. I'm the president of my corporation. I've made millions of dollars. I ride first class everywhere I go. And on first class last year on the American Airlines, they gave away in that front cabin $250 million worth of whiskey for free, which means y'all paid for it. But then upset because the welfare mother asked for some apple juice for the baby. What kind of fool are we dealing with? I can leave here tonight and go all over the world and take a prostitute with me. And as long as I got enough sense to call that hoe my secretary, it's a tax write-off. Campaign reform is going out the box, and ain't nobody gonna mess with it because nobody in America is gonna mess with power because you know they'll hurt you. So we got to find poor, weak people we can pick on. So welfare mothers is a good. What they will never tell you is 80% of every mother that's ever been on welfare in the history of America has never produced a child on welfare. They just keep showing you that 20%. That's a game they play. And how you black folk can look at NBC, CBS, ABC, and the Atlanta Constitution and get your opinion about yourself mean that you might not be as close to God as you think you are. I mean, they just put it out there and y'all run back with it. I'm so damn sick and tired of hearing black folk talk about black men in jail. Everywhere I go, I see black men. Black women walk around, it's a shortage of black. No, you just ugly and evil and couldn't get a man if you was the last woman on the planet. Give me that crap. Do you know more black men showed up 2 years ago at the Million Man March than we got in jail? No, don't clap. Hear what I'm saying now. And white racist system had convinced you that march wasn't going to be a success. And what they haven't told you, nobody's ever dared have a march on a Monday. Promise Keeper on a weekend when everybody had from Friday to get there and Sunday to get back to their job. Let me tell you about them black brothers and you sisters. The boy called the march in October. Not in August when school was out and you had some vacation time. And almost 2 million black men showed up. Far more black men showed up there than what we got in jail. Why every day y'all talk about niggers in jail, but don't talk about all them black men that wasn't in jail that showed up on that Monday, because NBC have not told you to talk about it. I was at the March on Washington. It was something else. 1963, but white folks made it real easy for us. I lived in Chicago. They had trains taking you from Chicago to Washington, D.C. and back for $30. When we went there 2 years ago, a white racist system didn't cut us no slack, baby. You paid full price. You paid full price for the hotel. The two most expensive hotels in America is the Ritz-Carlton and the Four Seasons in Washington, D.C. Brothers had booked them 6 months before the march. 3 weeks before the march, you couldn't get no space to fly in on your private jet to Butler Aviation, because all them black brothers and sisters that done left the country, they flew back in their private jets. And not one white newspaper talked about the march, so we can't say they helped us. And the only time they start cutting loose talking about it when they hit them computers and saw all the hotel reservations was full. That when they saw you couldn't rent a bus nowhere in America. When they saw that all the airlines, all the trains was full. When they got through at Union Station, a sister down there told me they didn't have no food for 2 days. We don't talk about that. A white racist country where black folks and white folks lie to one another. And we don't take no time out every day talking about racism. President of the United States went all the way to Arkansas. 25th anniversary of the Arkansas 9. Not once did he mention racism. And the only time you see white papers mention racism when they're talking about Minister Farrakhan or Jesse Jackson. New York Times have never used the term racism for a white person. Are y'all crazy? Do you have any shame? Can you walk around being as sick as you are and as unhealthy as you are and praying and going to church all the time? What God you think you in tune to? You go to church, you kneel down on your knees with sugar diabetes and high blood, and you come out. God can get rid of anything. Anything. So we know it's a God, so there must be something wrong with your prayers. Try shutting up. Yeah, try stop saying them old hustling prayers. Just fall on your knees and think, well, God, you know. Yeah, they still debating how many black men showed up at the Million Man March. I told Minister Farrakhan that I went to his house 6 months for the march. I said, my brother, they're not going to give you a fair account. Oh, he straightened out his bow tie. Say, my brother, let me tell you about Allah. I said, man, you don't have to tell me about how much power it is in praying to the east, but the last time I checked, the march was taking place in the west. He said, well, what do you suggest we do? I said, we need to go there and have a rumble. So you mean fight? Yeah, that's what rumble used to mean when you was a Christian. They didn't listen to me. They still arguing now. How many black folks showed up? Had we gone there and had a rumble, I can just see the headlines now. 30 million of them showed up. And 5 million of them attacked this 75-year-old white woman. And I ain't gonna lie, if I took over the country, I mean, they got these rockets and probers. They got this thing on 4th of July, landed on Mars and sniffed the rock and sent back a 10 billion year history. But they can't make my old lady a pair of nylons that don't run. Or they can't find them bums that white boy lost when he crashed into the mountain. Y'all need to bring that sniffer home since it's supposed to be so good. I'm supposed to believe what y'all telling me? I mean, the way y'all lie to me about stuff right here I'm looking at? Please. I'm still trying to get the O.J. Simpson trial out of my head. I mean, I was looking at Marv Alverson trial. The more I was looking at Marv Alverson, I was thinking about O.J. I mixed them up. I got O.J. on my conscience. I kept looking at the Marv Alverson and I kept saying, if the panties fit, you must not acquit. Well, Marv was cool. I'll be honest, I'd never heard of him because I don't care that much about sports. I care a lot about physical fitness, but I don't care that much about sports. And so after he got busted, then I kind of checked him out, and I didn't realize he's like one of the premier. I mean, he make big money announcing sports, because some of y'all knew that, right? And this woman, she wasn't even a white woman that busted him. She's from El Salvador or Santo Domingo or something. And they're going to let some South American woman come in and bust a prime white boy? Please. I'm not saying he didn't do what they said he'd do, but this is my America. That boy made somebody mad at NBC. He either hit on somebody's wife, or after that trial come out, might have hit on their son. Remember, white folk loved Bill Cosby. I mean, you couldn't find nobody that loved Brother Bill any more than white folk until he made the mistake to say, I want to buy NBC. And the boy ain't had no peace since, from killing his son to he can't crack the top 40 in his ratings. But they loved him before that. Them white folk loved him. They let that boy advertise tapioca. You know how that white boy feel about his pudding now. Bill be walking through the Jell-O. And after that nigga been in the Jell-O, white folks say, give me some. He was their man. Now, it wouldn't have bothered the white racist system had Bill Cosby not had the money to buy it. Oh, they'd have been writing editorials. Oh, what a nice thing for a black man to own that. But the boy could have backed it up. He gave $20 million to Spelman. Then the next thing you know, he got this tragedy going on. Then some girl named Jackson said, Bill's my daddy. Bill was such a nice gentleman. I was with Jesse Jackson not too long ago. And I said, Jesse, next time you see Bill, you ought to just thank him and tell him what a wonderful gentleman he is, because all this tragedy. First he loses his boy, and this woman named Jackson say he her daddy. And I'll be honest with you, Jesse, if a woman named Jackson say I'm her daddy, I'm blaming that girl on you. I will call up your family and say, y'all come on in town and meet your new sister. But somewhere, when you think about, the games that they play, the games 24 hours a day that go down, and like I said, they can go up, they got a satellite up there right now, can take a picture of a stamp outside this building and can tell you if the stamp's been canceled or if it's fresh. But they can't give us a right count on the million man. Is it something about nappy hair and gravity? And Muslims are funny. I mean, black folks is funny. We got some black folks in our neighborhood. They call themselves black Muslims. We call them black Muslims. And Honorable Elijah Muhammad, I mean, he really, I mean, if this was a white man, we see pictures, streets be named, because what did he do? He put a thing out here that none of them need. No drugs, no whiskey, no wine, no alcohol, no nicotine, no caffeine, and we act like they don't exist. We still run around trying to find a cure to our loved ones. They got it. And you know something different about them? Niggas ain't got no bumps on their face. Face just as smooth as a brand new baby's booty. No bumps. They're just as mannerable and polite. They be here in Atlanta, 140 degrees in the summertime with a winter suit on and a tie and a bow tie, and they don't sweat. And y'all walk past them like, I ain't gonna lie to you. If I wasn't into my stuff and had my body together, now I ain't gonna lie, I ain't gonna join the Muslim church. I'd kidnap me one of them. I'd put that nigga, you gonna tell me how come you don't get hot. Here, smoke this cigarette. Snort this cocaine. Nigga, what kind of nigga is you? Y'all act like they don't even exist. Y'all act like y'all can't learn nothing from them. But if them was white folk doing that, you'd be paying them $10,000, $15,000 come to your church and talk to the community. And you black folk got to stop being all emotional too. You're too emotional. That's why I tell all my white friends, I said, you know, keep your money in black banks. I said, well, you know, you super black. That's what the black bankers, no, I ain't got nothing to do with that. I like these white dudes. And I tell them to keep their money in a black bank. Not that a black bank going to survive after the white bank closed, but black folks so emotional, you can walk in the black bank and know a month ahead of time something wrong. Yeah. I mean, I'm around some white folks in New York City, Chase Manhattan. They don't have no emotions. Cold-blooded white boy. I'm in the Chase Manhattan last Friday, and this cold-blooded white boy selling this 98-year-old white woman a 30-year CD with a straight face. And explaining to her what the penalty is going to be if she try to cash it in early. Now, you know that could never happen in a black bank. You see a 98-year-old black woman coming in trying to buy a 30-year CD. I can see that sister now. Put her hand, girl, you better take this money and go out there and try to have yourself a good time. You ain't got but about 2 more days to live. I told my wife, we safe in a black bank because you just tune into the emotions. You can tell when something's wrong in the black bank. You walk in, tell her sleep. Guard reading the warrant ads. My wife said, that don't mean nothing. I said, write out a check for $5. She wrote out a check for $5. They cashed it with pennies. Before she could say that, they got 3 dudes ran in and said, this is a stick up. Teller fell on the floor and laughed. Said, if you want some serious money, you better go across the street and rob Safeway. The games. Emotional. I was looking at what's the brother of the National Baptist Church, Lions. Now, I mean, did y'all follow that? Now, you couldn't make a more stupid statement than he made. That's emotions. I mean, y'all know what I'm talking about? I mean, here's a brother, he over in Africa with a woman. I can't say it's his woman because I ain't talked to him, but he with a sister. His wife, at home, signs the deed to a house. Y'all know what I'm talking about? $700,000 house with him and her name on it. So she go there and set the house on fire. Did y'all follow that? She on her way back home and hit a tree. Did y'all, come on, y'all know what I'm talking about? The police show up because of the accident and she set the house on fire. Now what kind of emotionalism is that? They didn't know nothing about no house on fire. She hit a damn tree. Police show up. She got good insurance. She said, my husband and this old no good woman, they got a house together. Police probably going crazy. He said, well, come on, they trying to get her to the hospital. They think she's delirious. And I just went and set the house on fire. And then y'all read the story with all emotions. Because I got some serious questions asked. Don't doubt that it happened. I mean, I'm married. Suppose my wife looking through my stuff and find a deed with another woman's on it. Name on. That don't give her the keys to the house. They left a lot out the store for me just to, how she get in the house? And look here. You got a $700,000 house down on the water. You ain't just left town. You left the country. You got good locks plus a good electronical system on that house. How she get past the security without tipping it off? How come somebody didn't know she was in that house? Y'all's emotions gonna get y'all in trouble. I'm not saying the brother didn't do it. I'm just saying what they feeding me. Then it happens on Sunday, but the news don't hit till Wednesday. Huh? They held it till Wednesday. So that tell me white folks negotiating. Huh? If you do this, we won't do this. Then they catch up with him in Africa on Thursday. He was just strolling down Africa in the fatherland with his lady on his arm. I said, wonder what them white folk doing over here. You'll know in a few minutes. They went over and broke the news to him. He got back on a plane and hurried up back. Then he got all emotional. Did y'all hear the press conference? These white folk just doing this to me because they don't like to see a brother that's making it. Out of all the stuff you can blame on white folk, I mean, you could even blame that on them, but just don't be stupid. Don't have no emotions. I mean, if I was in Africa, and my old lady go through and she find a deed, $700,000 house with another woman's name on it, and set the house on fire, and the press come to me, I do like them white boys do. I have no comment. Why y'all always feel y'all got to answer white folks? When they came out against Ebonics, they ran to Jesse. Jesse Jackson, what do you think about against Ebonics? I'm against Ebonics. How can Jesse Jackson be against Ebonics when that's all he talk? Up with hope, down with dope. That's Ebonics. What in the hell is down with dope? Smoking a reefer under the coffee table? Y'all always feel like y'all got the answer. White folks stick a mic up in front of you. What do you think about that? The boy wouldn't have had no emotions. They'd have ran to him and told him, you just be strong, be cool. Said, I have no comment. But when you going to answer us? I'll have a press conference when I get back. Keep your lady on your arm. Get off the plane. All them white boys will be there. I'm only talking to Jet Magazine. I know they understand. Because the brothers and the sisters want to see what that $700,000 house look like. And you know Ebony gonna run that sprayer, did it? And I'd have held me a press conference on Friday just like he did, but it would have been with no emotions. I would have said, as a black minister, that 8 million black folks I serve. I must say that I made an awful mistake and misjudged some things last week. I went to Africa. Come here, Mildred, with Mildred. When I got there and unpacked, I realized I'd made this horrible mistake. I called down the street to the next hotel where Mildred was staying. I said, Mildred, just awful what had happened. I packed up my wife's medicine. She said, what medicine? Well, you know, she's had a nerve problem since high school. You know, she's really kind of crazy, you know, but these pills kind of keep her in check, and I got them with me, so no telling what might happen between now and time we get back. That ends that. No more press conference. She crazy. Leave her alone. She got her pills now. And she all right. That's all. He talking about white folks don't like to see a brother making it. And everybody know, even white folk mess up when they ain't taking their pills. Look at Ted Turner. Everybody know Ted is manic depressive. Y'all know that? He went to New York the other day and didn't take his pills. That high hit him. He gave $1 billion to the UN. Didn't mean to. I mean, that thing hit him. Whoo! He said, take my money. James sitting there nervous, right? Oh, James, where are your pills? Then he got back and got his pills. It was too late then. He demanded all other rich people give their money away too. He said, oh, no. We take our pills, boy. I mean, somewhere. And then another thing you black folk got to be careful with is where you get your information from. Money is not power. Education is not power. Information is power. If I give you bad information, you have bad power. People who love you can give you wrong information and not even know it's wrong. I got it in my house. My mama messed me up before I even knew there was white folks. Son, you got to be twice as good as white folks. Why would you even program that filth into a child? That's like telling a child that because you black, they're going to change white folks' dollar for $1, but they're going to change yours for 38 cents. Why would you prepare a child to take an insult like that and then call it love? There's a universal God integrity in your body, and that God force say, anytime you stoop below my dignity just so you can eat or be safe, I'll destroy you from the inside. That's why you got your sugar diabetes and high blood pressure. That's why you got more sickness than anybody on the planet. You make more money, got more education, have a high standard of living than most white folks on this planet. But you have sickness that far surpass third world poverty-stricken countries. There's 1 billion people on this planet that make less than $1 a day, and their sickness don't match yours. And you don't even have the wisdom and the knowledge to stop by and say, God, what am I doing wrong? My mother told me once, I was 9 years old, sitting in the room, you just hate for your mama to be wrong. I kept on trying to give her the benefit of the doubt. I even got to the Bible, said, honor your father. No, I'll honor them if they're honorable. No, I mean that. I ain't never said the Lord's Prayer and asked God to lead me away from temptation. What God gonna lead you into a whole house in first? That line don't even make sense. So I know somebody changed that. Lead me not into temptation. God gonna lead you into a dope house and a whole house. Y'all better start using your God-given intelligence when y'all read stuff that other people done tampered with. Just because the church don't mean nothing. Look at the Pope. The Pope didn't go to Mother Teresa's funeral but showed up at Bob Dylan's concert. Tell me when she gonna be a saint. One thing I like about the Catholic Church, they taught me that prayers work. Yeah, prayers work. You can tell the way them priests been ripping off them little bitty boys. You know prayers work. I can just see priests ripping off that boy now praying and say, God, I know what I'm doing is not right. So I'm not going to ask you to forgive me. Just baffle their mind so they won't remember it for about 40, 50 years. And it worked. Cat be walking down the street, 90 years old, with his wife and start screaming, ah, what's wrong? Father O'Malley ripped me off. When? In 1904. Honor thy father and mother. I mean, Hitler's children are supposed to honor him because he's their daddy. Are you some kind of fool? Oh, redneck, cracker, Ku Klux Klan, nigger-hating white boy that'll lynch you from a high tree, and you gonna tell these children to honor him because he's their daddy? You must be some kind of sick. Honor you if you honorable. Honor is not something that you just hand out and just give to somebody because somebody put in some pages of a book. My mama sitting there one day talking all that old nonsense. Don't care what kind of job you got, boy. Just be the best. Now, I was really feeling good there for a minute. I knew something kind of went off when she said job. Something said, where's she coming from? She said, I don't care if you ain't doing nothing but washing toilets. Be the best toilet washer. I got him walk, what the hell I want to be the best toilet washer in the world for? Y'all crazy. Let me make toilets. Well, I want to be the best shoe shine boy in the world. Let me make shoes. Mama, since you programming this young mind, don't program me into nothing negative. The game, y'all better start listening. Black on black crime. What is black on black crime? And I tell white folks, I tell y'all, white folks, y'all better start listening to black folks because they might be talking about y'all. See, black folks ain't saying we shouldn't do crime. We saying we shouldn't do it to each other. So who be's left? I keep saying, what's wrong with black on black crime? If we all went to China tonight, who you think killing Chinese in China? And if we go to Italy tomorrow, who you think killing Italians in Italy? And if 98% of all white folks that was murdered in America last year was murdered by white folks, and they ain't talking about white on white crime, why are you talking about black on white crime? It's talking about defamation. They did it to the Jews, Hitler, right before he rolled on them. They scared you so much with crime. I mean, they got black folks scared that somebody's going to take something from them, and they ain't got nothing. Yeah. Fear. They do anything just to keep you scared. Fear. Fear and God do not occupy the same space. My old dumb cousin called me not too long ago. Scared. Brother Greg, they're going to repossess my car. What must I do? Don't park in front of the house. Car green, painted black. Repossessors is not the smartest people on the planet. Oh, dumb, stupid cousin in Kansas City. He got 27 locks on his door, on his house, and ain't got nothing in the house. I said, boy, if somebody broke in this house, they'd leave something. House so small, he stuck the key in the door one day and stabbed 12 people. And they was in the backyard. Got this old nasty, dirty, greasy car. If you were stupid enough to ride with him, you need a tetanus shot. He thinks somebody want to steal it. So about 2 months ago, he went out and bought one of them clubs. I called my sister the other night in Kansas City, and she said 2 nights ago somebody stole the club and left the car. Fear? Scared of what? 98% of all homicides in America is caused by friends or relatives. Ask the little Ramsey girl. 96% of all homicides in America is caused over arguments, not breaking and entry. We don't need more locks on our door. We need locks on our attitude. I mean, they just run you to. I had so much OJ in my head. I'm telling you, I ain't lying. I watched it every day. Every day I watched it. At nights I played a rerun. Weekend I was a nervous wreck, waiting on it to come back again. And the last 2 weeks before that damn OJ first one was over, I was looking at it and something came over me. I thought I did it. I called my wife, say, baby, get them tight gloves. I'm going to turn myself in. And y'all couldn't see through that and think you know God? A black man accused of killing 2 white folks in America, and they let that nigga show up in court every day with a brand new tailor-made outfit on, and y'all didn't see that was Hollywood in a script and a whole game they was playing? If O.J. killed her, I killed her. But how do I be married to Lillian for 39 years and she get murdered tonight and I just happen to cut my thumb? So what's that script about? I could handle it if he had something to do with it. He didn't know no more about what was going on that night than I did. He on TV on the Larry King show 3 weeks ago. I still love Nicole, and every night I go to sleep, she comes to me in my dream. I tried to call the boy, but his phone was disconnected. If I'd have got him, I told him next time she come to you, ask her who did it. How you gonna kill somebody in America, all that blood, and ain't no bloody footprints leading away from the... How many of y'all know they got helicopters, they can push a button, they go into what they call a whisper mode? How many of y'all know that? What does that mean? That means all of us, what's your name, brother? We could all be at your house tonight in your backyard at a picnic, and they could have 50 helicopters over us in a whisper move, and we wouldn't hear them. And they drop them ladders down and come down and murder all of us and go back up. We wouldn't hear nothing, but your dog would hear it. Now you see why the OJ dog was acting crazy, but didn't nobody else hear nothing but the dog? I mean, are y'all crazy? No footprints leading the way? And if I flew by your backyard and dropped the glove out, a helicopter, the wind would blow it, right? So I have to put it in a container, right? That's what that boy heard hitting that house. Boom, that was the container they had it in. How long? How long y'all just let them just manufacture stuff and manufacture stuff? You don't even have to be smart. They say, here, OJ did this, and y'all thought y'all had to have an opinion. All you had to say was, so what? So what? They run around asking black folks, how many black folks was at the Million Man March? How many black folks in there? Everybody's all emo. It was such and such. God said, what's up in there? They come up to me, how many? I said, goo gobs of niggas, and kept going. They got them. They don't know what goo gobs mean. The guy had to call NBC's, CNN. He said it was goo gobs. What does that mean? They hit the computer, goo gobs. Nothing came back. They had to come back and say, Mr. Gregory, when they call you Mr., you got them. Mr. Gregory? Yeah, boy. What do you mean by goo gobs? And that's when you get them. You put that deep look in your eye, like wisdom is slipping in. You know what I'm talking about? You sisters see it all the time. The brothers be trying to look spiritual. Ain't nothing but nigger lust. Hey, sister, what's your sign? Y'all know what I'm talking about? Reach in your throat like them white folk do when they get ready to lie. Well, you want to know what goo gobs is? Have you ever been out in the wilderness? And as far as you can see where the sky meets the earth. That white boy said, yes, yes, yes. What do goo gobs mean? Well, goo gobs mean there's some niggas on the other side of that. Fear, scared of everything. All fear works the same way. When fear transferred past this fight or flight thing up here, it ain't no such thing as good fear and bad fear. Fear is fear. And the body reacts to it. Tears up your immune system. Fear. I wonder if my lady gonna leave me. I wonder if I'll have my job. I wonder if I can get this new car. You're always worried about something. Then after you get it, now you worry about how you're gonna pay for it. You already got it. Let it go. You got it. You possess it. They trying to repossess. You possess. Possessions. Don't worry about the I got it. They call, y'all be lying. Tell them I'm not home. Never lie to a bill collector. Ask yourself a simple question. First, did I get the stuff? Yes. Second, do I have the money to pay for it? If it's yes, then the next question is, am I going to pay for it? If it's no, go for it. Now, the easy one is, did I get the stuff? Yes. Do I have the money to pay for it? No. Am I going to give it back? No. Then go for it. Don't be walking around all scared every time the phone rings, scared to answer it. Go pick that phone up. Hello. Dick Gregory? Yeah, this is Dick. They don't know what to say when you say it's you. They've been trained that you're going to say you're not there. When you say it's you, they got to run to the manual. What do you say when they say they there? Huh? He come back. This is not you. I said, boy, how old are you? You're 22 years old. Let me tell you something. I've been owing this company this money for 38 years. I mean, boy, before you was born, I owed this money to these folks. What makes you think you going to collect it in your lifetime? When I first got married, that was the only problem Lillian had. She couldn't handle debt. You know, she over at University of Chicago, over there with all them educated folks over there at University of Chicago, was rated one of the top 3 schools in the world. We get married. When we going to pay Sears and Roebuck? You act like we got some money. We don't have no money. And when I get some money, Sears and Roebuck is not my first priority. And Sears and Roebuck knew I wasn't going to pay for that stuff when I got it. On the back of the application, they said, who's going to pay for this? I said, your mama. Two weeks later, I thought Lil had a nervous breakdown. I walked in the house, she hollered and screaming, they did it, they did it. I said, what's wrong, baby? Sears and Roebuck, final notice. I said, thank God we won't be hearing from them no more. Oh, final notice mean to me. The games. Do you know bill collectors cannot call you after 8 o'clock at night? It's federal law. Federal law. But ain't no law that you can't call them. I call my bill collectors home 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. I try to catch them doing something. Stop doing whatever you do. I want to discuss this bill. And you know when you call them bill collectors at home in the middle of the morning, you know when you went in, when you call their house and you hear them say, tell them I'm not home. Those are games they play. Somewhere when you stop and think about the games, and after you do everything you can in them little low-level intimidators, when they can't get no money from you, then they send it to a different level. They send it to them PhDs, them psychiatrists, them sociologists. Oh, they have a different tack. Hi there, guy. When can we expect a payment? I said, well, I'm not in control of your expectations. Matter of fact, you can expect the payment all the time. Matter of fact, my brother, you sound so positive. Have you checked the mail this morning? Fear. Then I hear people talk about how awful it is to be black in America today. Serious? Black? Bad to be black in America today? Try Biloxi, Mississippi, 1942. It's great to be black in America today. I mean, think about how much never before in the history of this planet have anybody made the progress that we black folks have made in America, even with black folks and white folks lying to one another. Hey, Michael Jackson's a good example of progress in America. I mean, think about it. Here's a poor black boy born in utter poverty in Gary, Indiana, ends up being a rich white man. Only in America. And old Marv Albertson, old Marv was getting away there for a minute. Oh, they was nasty the first day. The second day they was kind of, and the third day he just said, I plead guilty. Did y'all follow that? Did they tell you why he pleaded guilty? Huh? This was the New York Post. That's why I have to read all the papers. Friday, pleaded guilty Thursday. Friday, September the 26th, 1997. Prosecutor wanted to call Albert's transvestite lover. That's a black man that he'd been living with for 15 years in New York. Oh, they was really going to get down in. There it is. I didn't make it up. There it is. See it right there? See it? Can you see it, miss? See it? What's that say?
Prosecutor wants to call Albert's transvestite lover.
Transvestite lover. And then in the inside, it tell you who that nigga was. Albert been taking care of him for 15 years. And then that next day, they released the 911 tapes. Didn't y'all hear that? Did anybody hear the 911 tapes? That was released on Albert? The woman when she was making the call to the police? That's very important. No, none of y'all heard it? You heard it. When she said, she was on a payphone, remember? And they said, well, where are you? And she couldn't make out the street name. She said, I'm on 20th, and then she made it out. And they said, what happened? And she said, this man had bit me and had brutalized me and sexually raped me. And she said, well, where is the man now? Remember that? And she said, he's in his hotel room. Remember that? And they did not go and arrest him. And she told them where he was. And he never got arrested and didn't know anything was going on. I didn't say he didn't do it. He didn't know that there was no legal stuff going on until a grand jury indicted him secretly and held a press conference. That's the way they do in America when you mess with the wrong people. That's right. That's what I mess with the wrong people every time. I say, ain't nothing you can do to me. So what you gonna do? Lie on me if you want to. Who cares? And none of my friends believe what NBC say about me. CNN asked me the other day, Mr. Gregory, you've been fasting for 30-some years. What do your doctor think? My doctor been dead 27 years. So real rich white folks, those I can handle. I'm talking about serious white folks. Tiger Woods, he was funny, wasn't he? Tiger Woods said that he wasn't black. Said he has Asian, Thai, Caucasian. He called the roll. Then last month, did y'all see where he said he's been getting death threats? I wonder which one of them they want to kill. When that old crazy white boy got what's that white boy telling about them collard greens? What's his name? Fuzzy. Oh, Fuzzy didn't call off no tie-dyed. He didn't call off no white dyed. He didn't talk about no lobster Newburgh. He talked about a nigger dish, boy. I sure was glad they kind of cooled that one out, because if they'd have kept running that one and kept running that, and they'd have kept printing in the white paper about collard greens, and next thing you know, white folks would have tasted them, and next thing you know, white folks would have taken a liking to them. And you know what happened to the price of stuff when white folks fall in love with it. I mean, the price of collard greens would have went so sky high, eating collard greens in the ghetto would end up being a spectator sport. Progress? I mean, do you know what we're doing? Progress? I mean, think about it for a minute. Progress. How far we've come in such a short period of time. I was with some black militant brothers and sisters 3 weeks ago. Immigration is God! Shut up! Y'all always can get around black folks and go crazy, but when you're around white folks, I can't hear from y'all. I be in all kind of meetings. I can't hear from y'all. At all. Where's that sister tonight that was telling me she was with me when we was at the radio station? She's still here. Sister came up to me, and we came in, we dogged these white folks. Then we jumped in there. Al Sharpton came in. We was out there. Them white folks came out there with the top money folks, and they said, we're not meeting with all of you people. Dick Gregory, we'll meet with you. You remember that? I went up and told them white folks, I said, I don't mind meeting with y'all. Am I right? But I sells niggas out when I'm by myself. And did I tell them? Swear to God. Swear to God, I told them right to their face, I sells niggas out when I'm by myself. That's why if you want to meet with me, you have to bring them with me. Because I do not trust myself around you. If I had my way, not a black person in this country would ever be permitted to use the word integration without using the word segregation. Don't put this burden on me. There wouldn't have been a need for the word integration had they not had you under a rigid segregation pattern. But you ain't gonna mess with them. And I was out there. I was at the forefront of this battle. I ain't talking about what I got to read in some damn history book. I was out there. And I'll tell you why we ended up with integration. Go back and listen to Dr. King's speeches. Listen to what, they twisted them now. Dr. King never said to white folks that it ain't about the color of your skin, but the contents of your character. He did not say that. And why y'all let white folks throw that back at you? Dr. King said, one day there will come a time when my little black children will not be judged by the color of their skin, but the content of their character. That's what he said. He did not say it's not about the color of your skin, but the content of your character. And that boy then twisted that thing all the way around. I was there on the front line, me and my wife. My oldest daughter got arrested when she was like 2 years old, and my second daughter got arrested. She was like 13 months old. We were sitting in the street in Chicago. When I was in jail that night, I had Lil in one jail and the children in another jail. And the guy said to me, you don't look sad. I said, sad about what? Well, they took your 2 children and put in jail. I said, did you hear what my one daughter said? My second daughter, she's 13 months old when they snatched her out my wife's arm. She looked at me and said, Dad, we're in trouble. I wish my mother had got me in a situation when I was 13 years old that I would have known we was in trouble. I didn't find out we was in trouble till I was grown. We backed this white racist system all the way up to the door, and baby, we was dealing. Old folks, young folks, short folks, tall folks, black folks, yellow, we was marching. 80% of them was women. Marching every day. We went through as dogs and said, bring your tigers. When you get through your tigers, we'll be ready for your elephants. But you can't stop this one. And then one day we backed him up against the wall, and he threw the door and said, what you want? And we looked behind us, and y'all wasn't there. That's what happened. A handful of black folks out here fighting a filthy system that's killing you, and you wasn't there. And that's why we had to ask for nothing, because we had no troops. And now this same racist system that's choking you, you want to debate integration. Well, let me tell you something about integration. Do you know what effect integration have had on white folks? When Fuzzy Zelman made that little nasty remark, Kmart canceled a $17 million contract per year. Why? Do you know any black you ever seen in your life on their way to Kmart's to get some golfing equipment? I've been married to that black woman 39 years. I want a divorce. I don't have to ask. All I got to do is get her address from Kmart. And it's over. Kmart is white folks. We have impressed white folks so much. The decent white folks in this country who's in the majority We have had such a profound respect on them that Kmart canceled that white boy's contract because they was worried how white folks was going to react to his statement, not you. They know how most of y'all going to react. Going to sit around high-fiving, balling your fists up, but they ain't going to do nothing. You still be going in Kmart. Sit around bad-mouthing the Korean in your neighborhood, and after you get bad-mouthed, you go get a hot link to take home for your old lady. Koreans selling all the wigs and black women wearing them. If we ain't got enough integrity to say to the man who make the wigs, you're going to sell wigs to Koreans cheaper than you sell them, then let Koreans wear them. Because we ain't going to wear them no more. We got to start forming coalitions. If Lockheed can hook up with Marietta and Boeing can hook up with McDonald, what y'all waiting for? Why y'all still out here think you can do it by yourself? Something wrong. We got to have churches hooking up. We got to have schools hooking up. We got to have different groups that never even thought about hooking up before, hooking up because there's a new vibration out here now. How long? I mean, think about it. Think about what they're telling us. When Texaco sitting in a meeting and the dude said nigger one time, and in 24 hours they stock dropped $1.5 billion. Y'all know about that? How many black folks you know own Texaco stock? That was white folks they was worried about reacting. The white folks who we have had a profound effect on them. While y'all running around selling them wolf tickets, talking about well, integration and herd us, integration. Look, we had black businesses. Y'all don't complain about integration of ball team have put black baseball out of business. Why you pick what you want to pick and choose what you want to choose? Huh? One thing about powerful white folk, real white folk like Texaco, Texaco, when do the word nigger not be nigger? When Texaco get caught using it. Oh yeah, New York Times broke that story. I never will forget. I opened up my paper that morning, front page of the New York Times. Texaco at a meeting was caught using the word nigger. And then NBC, CBS, ABC ran with that night. Ted Koppel had it the next day. Then 4 days later, after Ted Koppel had the chairman of Texaco on, then, well, how do you feel about, oh, we're very sorry. That's not the policy of our company. Well, what do you mean? Well, how do you feel about them saying nigger in the board meeting? And boy, the white folk can say nigger now. You think you can say nigger? White folk can say nigger. That white boy called me nigger, couldn't even talk. 3 days later, the chairman of Texaco had a press conference. He says, we've been maligned. We've had these tapes enhanced. And we found out that that was not the word nigger he said. He said St. Nicholas. Boy, I was so happy to find out Santa Claus was a nigger, I didn't know what to do. I'm 65 years old. The word been nigger, 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 nigger all my life. And then all at once, when it get to the point that the word nigger in America look like it's going to free a nigger, they changed it to the N-word. They didn't say nigger no more, they said the N-word. And then Mark Furman, I mean, I was hoping he didn't get no big time. I was hoping the judge gave him about 2 or 3 days in jail. I think that'd been enough time to spend in jail with the N people. Mark Furman said nigger 40 times, but Mark Furman didn't have no Texaco money, so all 40 of his niggers stayed niggers. See what big money would do? Matter of fact, I was a little surprised that the judge didn't give Mark Furman some time, but put him on 2 years probation and fined him $200. He said nigger 40 times, that's about $5.20 a nigger. But you know, God is good. Within 90 days after Mark Furman was just just fined $200 for using the word nigger. Texaco got caught using the word nigger one time, and they stock dropped $1.5 billion overnight. Whew, I ain't gonna lie to you, at them prices, I'm about ready to be one. Boy, we have made a difference. And when I first wrote my book, I put the word out there in everybody's face. Nigger, nigger, nigger. That's what I named my book. Take it out the closet. Dedicated to my mother. Dear Mom, wherever you are, if ever you hear the word nigger again, remember they just advertising my book. And when that whole Mark Furman thing came up, nigger, 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 oh, the sales went up now. I've been knowing Mark Furman lived in Idaho. I just got his personal address the other day, so I sent his wife a case of niggers. Put a little note in there, take these niggers to bed with you. Please. How long? So where do we go from here? Take care of your body. Take care of your body. Well, I got in town today, picked up the Sunday papers, Sunday New York Times, front page. Sunday New York Times, October the 19th. Analysts expect health premiums to rise shortly. 46% of all hospital beds in America was empty last year. Not because Americans is not sick enough to fill them, they've been priced out of the hospital. And there's going to come a day that ain't nobody but a handful of rich folks in America going to be able to afford to go to the hospital. What they're really trying to tell y'all now, and y'all better hear them, that you better start being responsible for your own health. It ain't too many things we can be responsible for, but my health is one of them. You talking to somebody